Susan, Kathy, I'm so excited to be talking with you both. I mean, first off, how have you been? Lots has happened since we saw you last in the Bachelor Mansion.
We have been having a blast.
I know. It's so exciting. And we're meeting so many wonderful people and reaching out to so many people that are talking to us about what they're experiencing in life. And we're just so grateful.
Our podcast, I think that has been life-changing for us, starting our podcast, because like Susan just said, we're really able to reach so many people. And every day that we do a podcast and we get lots of letters and people writing in, we feel like we leave that podcast. We've made people's days brighter.
Yeah.
They feel better. And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And it's so fun to listen to. I'm glad you brought up the podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about how it came about?
Well,
I guess from our big mouths doing so many other podcasts that we were invited to, and we had our message, if you will.
I think you and I both, we say what we think. We're real. People keep saying in this whole process, be yourselves, you be your authentic self. Susan and I are our authentic selves. So when people asked us questions, we gave them honest answers. And I think people like that.
Yes, totally. And in the most recent episode, you guys talked about the importance of communication in a marriage or a relationship.
Yes.
Do you have any communication tips you can share with the readers?
Be true to yourself and speak what's on your mind in a nice, kind way, but you've got to say what you're feeling and what situation makes you feel. You got to share it with whomever, whether it's your partner, your best friend. I mean, Kathy and I were just starting our podcast, and sometimes we'll say something about each other or step over one another, and we're working on it because we're communicating and giving, what's
care.
the other C word?
Compassion, communicate,
And compromise.
That's my word, is compromise. I think that another advice I would have is listening. Being a good listener is really important. And I think that so many relationships, people stand on, I'm right. You know what? You can die on the cross being right, or you can work to communicate, collaborate, compromise, and life's probably going to go a lot better for you.
Definitely. And you both have talked about your previous marriages on the on the podcast a little bit, which I was like very interested to learn that about both of you that we didn't get to see on the show as much. Do you wish that we'd gotten to see more of it on the show, or are you excited to dive in more on the podcast as the weeks go on?
As far as Kathy's situation,
Yeah.
being died by suicide, her husband.
My husband died by suicide, and I think that suicide is one of those taboo subjects that, people don't really want to talk about as much. And so, yes, I love having a little bit of a platform because I want to break that taboo. I want people to feel comfortable talking about the hard things in life. And there's lots of hard, divorce is hard. It's all
And
hard.
menopause, like nobody, that was taboo, going
Right.
through menopause. It's a huge thing for women.
Right.
And nobody wants to talk about it.
Right. Or
I'm all about sharing every symptom and then
Right.
what you can do about it.
and sex in a later age.
And I believe there's a menopause as well.
Oh, yeah.
They don't ever admit to it, but there is.
Menopause, by the way, starts when they're 20.
No, sometimes my male friends will describe something that's going on, and I'm like, I think you're starting your period. Like, honestly.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
that's part of it. But any subject to us, because we are both true to ourselves, and I'm unapologetically who I am, authentically me. And if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you my honest answer.
I think for both of us when we were on the show, we were ourselves. And so we didn't find love, but we found friendship. And I think that's what people listening now to the podcast, I think it resonates with them. We have a platform to be honest and talk about some of those issues that haven't been as popular because people, as they get older, they feel like their life is over, that they don't have much to look forward to. And Susan and I both agree this
living proof.
This is the last chapter of our life. It's going to go on about 50 years, but it's going to be.
Oh, no, I don't want to be here 50 more
years. We can wave to me because I'm going to be
there.
here.
I'll need like 3 facelifts by then.
That's another thing, by the way. Another topic is staying young. It's not, part of it is personality. Part of it is just feeling young. Part of it's looking young. And it's okay.
A mindset.
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, what do you both do to stay young, either physically, mentally, whatever you think?
Well, my workout queen over here has me walking now. And of course, I'll get a little Botox to help. I mean, that's definitely part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I take care of myself. I try.
And, I dye my hair, and on the people have written things. I color it. Sorry. I color my hair. Thank you, Susan. But people have written comments on Instagram that I've had a facelift in the last 6 months and had cheek implants done. I'm like, no, like if I have a facelift, Susan and I are going to do it together.
Come out and celebrate and do a podcast on it. And I'll show you the bruises, the bandages, and how great I feel afterwards. Right. We're not opposed to telling the truth, which once again comes back to Susan and Kathy, unapologetically us.
What do? We take care of our bodies. We both do some meditation, some quiet time. We work out, and you know what? We get out. We don't sit around waiting for life to come to us. We get out and go find life.
Don't get me wrong. A rainy day Sunday, staying in your sweatpants on the sofa definitely is needed. And I do it. Right?
I do it, but not as much as you do. I think I'm.
How do you know how much I've done it? She hasn't seen it yet.
There's 4 Sundays in a month. I'm going with 4.
Have you guys played pickleball since that fateful date?
Yes. And yes, I have played pickleball. I have a pickleball court in my neighborhood. I love it. I play just about any sport.
So me, I'm a golfer, not a pickleball player. I didn't know it wasn't a racket until I got there. It was a paddle. I've learned a little bit, but I prefer the ball waiting for me to hit it.
And speaking of the Bachelor Mansion, have you been in touch with any of the friends that you made there? I know, Susan, you just had a very special wedding.
Every one of them. We talk, we have a group text, we have other private text. Yes, we're friends with them.
We went, Susan and I went with Nancy to St. Martin and had a week's vacation. That was a blast. About a month ago, 6 of us went to DC and had a great time.
And Nancy and Teresa
and Christina.
Christina flew over. Yeah.
We're friends. We are all
forever friends.
That's so fun, honestly.
I know. And it's unheard of at our age. Like, who makes 10 more best friends in their 60s? I'm 30 something and I can't imagine making 10 more friends. So we're definitely blessed.
Yeah. It's one of the best outcomes of the show.
Yeah.
Going in, we knew there were going to be 22 women and there was going to be 1 engagement. And so we all just supported each other and made friends. And I think now, again, on the podcast, they're seeing that we really are friends and we really are real. And I love that.
We all went in with the intention of finding love. But when you realize it's not your person, we embraced everybody else that was possibly his person. So, and I think that comes with maturity. We were fine with it. Where the younger generation, they were all in competition and they get a little catty sometimes, but that's part of being young, I guess.
That's at our age, our stories, as I said, we've had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And I think there are a lot of people out there that find solace and encouragement in what we have to say. And that makes our day.
And you don't sweat the small stuff, people.
Because most of the stuff is small stuff.
That's such good advice. And I know you've been giving advice to the most recent Bachelor. What has that been like? That's been like so interesting to see.
Like we're wordless for Joey. He's
a real deal.
Adorable, good looking,
kind,
compassionate. I think he picked the right person for him. And what a fabulous ending for any of the Bachelor shows, because we were so proud of Daisy and to be able to hold Kelsey's hand all the way down to the ride. I mean, that was just,
it was incredible. And I think
what a great message.
The message that women supporting women, I think that's sort of a pivotal shift for the show. And I love it because women should be supporting women, and seeing those two come for the last rose together.
beautiful.
It was beautiful. And
Cried.
leave.
I cried.
Oh, you're always
Definitely
crying.
cry.
She always cries.
I cry a lot.
That's relatable. Yeah, I think that, yeah, that has been some of my favorite things to come out of the Golden Bachelor and also this new season has just been like the camaraderie and the support
Yeah.
versus like, the fights.
I mean, there's so
Yes.
many tough things in life. Let's celebrate love. Let's celebrate second chances. Let's celebrate health and fitness and wellness. And
to be honest with you, I would not want to be the act to follow that show, Joey's season, because that was undeniably fabulous, as just like ours being the first show.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a hard act to follow. And I wish them all, whoever they choose, the very best.
we thought it might be fun to have Susan and me be double Golden Bachelorettes for the next show.
What do you think?
What do you think?
I mean, I would be on board.
I think the ratings would go off the roof.
Every time we're asked, we say we don't think we could find 20, they could find 22 guys that could keep up with us. But it sure would be fun trying.
I know.
Well, you did talk about wing womaning each other a lot on the podcast. So
Yes.
I did want to ask, do you think the Golden Bachelorette could be in the future for you guys?
We're both open. Everybody's open, but we have no say in that.
And we really don't know.
We don't.
We'll know when you know. Truly.
You could tell if I was lying, I'm not.
I mean,
I've gotten no phone calls yet. Have you?
No, but Susan, how fun would it be really to have
God.
22 guys who just want us?
Right.
Oh, I mean, we can't even find one right now that wants us.
I mean, that would be the dream, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Yes,
Yeah,
it
I don't
would.
need 22. I just need one.
Just one. I mean, I was gonna say, I would imagine that after the show, your DMs would be, full
You
right
think?
now. What's going
Everyone
on?
imagines that, and it's not really true.
But you know what? We're gonna
Not for us anyhow.
we're gonna wish it into existence. But I've had mostly about 35 to 40-year-olds. And I just
Okay.
keep saying, I have children older than you. Move along.
I'll go younger, but not as young as my kids.
Yeah, that's just too much.
That's not going to happen.
That is very fair. So where do you both try to meet people these days?
To be honest with you, I don't think I'm trying. I believe that if it's going to happen, we will present ourselves at some given point and it's just going to be.
Yeah.
I've been on all the dating sites and did all that. And I feel differently now. I really do. I can't keep looking. I don't need a man. I would like a man to share my later years with.
I think the advice that we have given on the show, and it's advice we both live by, we don't sit around waiting for a man to come knock on our door or for life to come knock on our door. We get up and we move. We're so busy with the podcast and just living our lives and enjoying our lives. And so as we're out and about, if we meet someone, that's going to be great. But I don't think either one of us are in a position that we have to have a man because we know how to enjoy life.
Because my luck, he'd show up the day at the house in my sweatpants.
I mean, I think that's really good advice for any age.
Thank you.
It is. Oh, and I've talked so much the difference is at our age, there's a lot of used to guys out there. And I've talked about this so much.
He loves this one.
I love this because a used to guy is a guy who used to get out and play tennis. He used to go skiing. He used to ride a bicycle and now he sits on the sofa. And there's used to women too, by the way. So our advice is get up, live your best life. The world is waiting for you to come and embrace it. So get up and do something about your life. If you're not happy with your life anyway.
I have also heard that women dating after a certain age, the men either want a purse or a nurse. What are your thoughts on
That's
that?
that's
We've
my line.
heard that as well. I haven't witnessed it yeah.
Well, first of all, we don't have purses to give except the Louis Vuittons we're wearing. So, and as far as a nurse goes, I mean, you're right, Susan. If at a
I would
certain
hire
age,
somebody to take care of them.
yeah, I mean, at a certain age, there's going to be some taking care of.
Sure, for anybody, for us as well. Like,
Right.
who knows?
But neither one of us are looking for a relationship where it's just a man who wants us to take care of them, because that's not what a good, healthy relationship looks like.
And Susan, I feel like you've been out here officiating lots of weddings. Has your schedule been booked? Like, how in demand are you? Should I
Yes,
reserve
I'm
for you?
actually missing two big opportunities that I love these people. A birthday party out in, where is it?
And
Lake Tahoe,
Lake Tahoe.
because I have a wedding. And Kathy immediately said, we have to go. We have to go cancel the wedding. I can't cancel the wedding, but I love doing it.
Can I say that my son got married 2 weeks ago and Susan officiated the wedding? It was fabulous.
Yes, it was.
Oh, congratulations. And I
Thanks.
heard there was a little Golden Bachelor reference in there.
Oh, that was priceless. So after the beginning, I introduced that I say a little prayer, and I said, I believe there's something he would like to say to you, the groom and the bride. And Kathy's watching, and he said, will you accept this rose? This one makes a comment.
But here's the thing, I forgot that they had a videographer at the wedding.
Listen to this.
And so I'm in the front row because I'm the mother of the groom. And I look at my son, Kyle, and I'm watching this go on with his bride, Candy. And he hands her the rose. And I said, oh, great. Another rose I don't get. And then I thought, oh, no, I forgot.
Not at your son's wedding.
Just didn't leave it. But yeah, it was so sweet.
It was good.
My kids have been very supportive. My sons have been really supportive of this whole thing. So I thought that was adorable.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, I'm super excited for the rest of your podcast. Can you give us like a preview of what we can expect in some of the weeks to come?
Well, we have all different people that we've been interviewing, a lot of them related to Bachelor, some of them not so much. And people are writing in questions, and that's really interesting. Sometimes Kathy and I are on the same page, other times opposite ends.
It makes for interesting conversation.
It does. And we keep encouraging people to call in and use their voice so they can be on our podcast. Like, let's talk.
I think that's when you say, what can y'all look forward to? I think what you're going to find is a lot of real conversation about real life issues and celebrating the good times and discussing some of the hard times. And I think that's what's going to make us different from some of the other podcasts out there.
And another little thing that we did touch on, and we will continue to touch on, is about the mean people saying mean things to these young girls on the show. I mean, we get it too. A lot of people get it. I don't understand it. I really don't. What are you gaining by saying these terrible things to people?
And you know what? We've talked about this. We live in a tough world with tough times right now. A little bit of kindness goes a long way. And so we hope to inspire people to be their best selves, to be a little bit kinder, a little bit more compassionate, a little bit more energetic, just all the best things in life. That's what we're looking towards.
I was taught as a child, if you didn't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
It's a classic.
Live by
I learned
that
one too.
You can have opinions. You know what I mean? Keep it to yourself. We don't want to hear it.
Yes. Or, just gossip with a friend, I think, at most.
It's just not nice.
Write in a diary, get a journal.
Whatever.
Oh, amazing. Well, I think this was so great. And I really enjoyed talking to you both. Susan, yeah.
Can I say one more thing? So
Of
I
course.
feel as if our fans, our followers are struggling to find us on our podcast. We've explained it a few times. I'm going to do it again here.
Okay.
You have to download podcasts and go to Bachelor Happy Hour.
Wherever they get podcasts.
Once you're in that, there's a little check mark at the top that you can follow, which would mean they'll let you know when an episode comes out. You then scroll down to find Golden Hour. So we are a part of Bachelor Happy Hour.
So yeah, if they Google Bachelor Happy Hour on their podcast app, then they just have to scroll through the shows. And there we are, Golden Hour.
Can't miss us.
Please listen and please write in because we'd love to hear from you.
And you guys are on Thursdays, right?
We're on twice a week.
Wednesday and Friday, I believe, but that could change. I don't know.
But if you follow us,
you'll
know because they'll let you know.
Very true. And how can people write into the show?
Oh, I got this one.
Oh, good. She's got it memorized.
I got it memorized now. Write to bachelornation.com/golden hour. You can either call in your questions at that link or you can write in your questions, and we would love to hear from you all.
And you never know when we're randomly going to pick one of our people that write in and have them on our show.
Oh, and
you got to listen every episode.
One more thing, shamelessly, if you have that perfect man out there, I'm wingwoman again. If you have that perfect man out there, feel free to send him along too.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Well, I did hear that you guys had someone DM you like, oh, my uncle or something lives
Yes.
near you.
Yeah. Haven't met him yet.
Maybe not the best strategy. Maybe send a picture if you're gonna try to do a setup. This is my call out to
We need a
anybody
current
listening to
picture.
this.
Yeah,
Current
current
picture.
picture.
Not 120 years old, please. A current picture. We don't want to walk by you in the bar and not recognize you.
I'm particular, I have to say. I'm sure you are as well. There's certain things that we look forward. So I don't know how that little version or episode of our show is going to work, but
I have hope. I have hope.
Actually, before we go, what qualities are you both looking for so we can manifest it into the universe?
All right.
one thing we both agree on is what? The height.
He's got to be, he's got to be taller than we are. But we honestly, even though Susan and I are very different personalities, we're both kind of looking for the same kind of guy.
Same qualities.
Same qualities in a guy. We want a guy with a great sense of humor, a guy who wants to enjoy life, a guy who wants to travel, who wants to experience life with us, who wants to get to know our families. We want to get to know his family. Just
I
a
would
good,
like
kind man.
Somebody that makes me feel important.
Yeah.
Treats me like his princess or queen, whatever you want to describe it. But I want to feel important in his life.
And definitely, he has to have a good sense of humor. We love to laugh.
And be able to take our big personalities, because whoever I meet, they're going to have to know.
That's right. I mean, that's right. So wait, let me ask you, all of you out there, do you think we're asking for too much?
Yeah, let us know that. Someone wrote me about she feels as if she has to lower her standards
Never.
at this stage of the game. And I'm like,
do not settle.
No, I've changed the physique and not dark hair. It could be gray, a few extra pounds. That's all good. I mean, we all grow older. You're not perfect. And that part is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have faith that these men are out there for you both.
If you're listening, reach out.
Call me.
Call you. Call me.
Here we go.
We'll fight over them.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. This was so fun.
We really enjoyed it.